Today we are working on the neck. So I'm going to start with the blanket. Like you can see, I have a blanket just laying on top of my mat. And that's the way we're going to start, coming down into our backs. And facing up, let's take just a moment here as we start. We are going to, of course, mobilize the neck and the head, but take a moment to drop all your bones. You know that image of like when you have a water balloon and it falls on the floor and it kind of like expands, right? And spills all over. So try and have that image for your body, letting the flesh spill and expand, and the contents within your body also to drop and ground. You can even close your eyes for a moment, giving yourself the opportunity to here just pick up information from your body, right? So sometimes there's tingling, sometimes there's pulses, sometimes you can, as you still yourself, pick up some tension that you're holding, possibly in the neck, maybe it's in the shoulders or the upper back, sometimes it's in the hips. So take a moment just to scan your whole body and start also breathing in a natural way, but just being more aware of that breathing pattern that you have, okay? So just becoming aware of the breathing pattern will help you slow down, and it will give the brain the information of also be calm and slow down, which is very helpful to absorb the information that we will give it, okay? So after that, soften also your face, relax your jaws, and keeping the arms alongside your torso, or if you have the space and you feel more comfortable taking your arms out to the sides, we are going to start very slowly by just bringing the chin over to one side and then back towards the neutral place where we started. Then we'll go over to the other side and back to center. So the movement is very simple. Now the challenge here is to go slow, because the slower you go, the deeper we'll get into the area of the neck, which is very complex, right? There's a lot of nerves, a lot of ligaments, and a lot of blood pumping, coming and going. So take your inhalations and exhalations in unison, I'm going to say, with the movement. So you create a little flow. It doesn't matter if you're not going exactly with me, but inhale, exhale, and then again, inhale, exhale. If you feel more comfortable closing your eyes, of course you can do that. Inhaling, I keep going a little more, and exhale, and inhale, exhale. Good. Then we return to the center, and we are going to go very gently. We are going to inhale and lift the chin gently up. It doesn't have to go very far. And then with the exhale, I'm going to bring the chin down towards my chest. I want to add here that if you have, or you tend to have sensitivity in your lower back, and being like this flat may become sensitive in your lower back, you can just bend your knees. This may be a little bit more comfortable. Lengthen your lower back a little towards the heels, and just stay with your feet pressing down on your blanket, okay? This can be super comfortable, so you can change it into that. And we go again. We inhale, slowly taking the chin up, and then with the exhale, bring it down. And notice the difference, right? When we are inhaling and opening, we are accessing the lymph nodes and the neck in the front, stretching and opening. And with the exhale, you may possibly notice the stretch in the back of the neck. And we start all over, inhaling, and exhale. Good, one more, inhaling and exhale. Now let's add a little bit more to this movement because I don't want to leave the whole body without being like cared for. So let's add a little bit of arching and also extending, what we call undulations in the spine. So as I'm inhaling and sending the chin up like we just did, I'm also creating an arch in my back. We usually call it the cat-cow movement. And then with the exhale, I'm bringing my belly in and the chin down, okay? And again, inhaling, opening the chest, sending the chin up, and exhale. Let's do two more, inhaling and exhale. One more, inhaling and exhale. Good, we go back towards the neutral. And now what I'm going to do is to take my hands behind the head. You can place the fingers if you want and put the hands behind the skull. And my thumbs are framing my neck, okay? So I stay there with the thumbs framing my neck. And what I'm going to do, keeping my elbows wide, is to keep my head heavy onto my hands and just press with my hands up. I'm going to say 1/2 inch off your blanket. So I'm just hovering onto my sticky mat, and with my hands, I'm going to pull, with my thumbs also, I'm going to pull my neck and my head behind me. Like if I want to make my neck longer or taller towards the wall that I have behind. So, you know, when you maybe go to like a chiropractor and they hold and they pull, or they have like machines that they help stretch the neck. So we are doing kind of like the same. So I'm just lifting my head off the sticky mat, like 1 inch, like I said, or 1/2, and then pulling, 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 and then you release it. And then we'll repeat the same thing, okay? So you rest for a moment, and then again, hold the head, lift just 1/2 inch, and then pull, pull, pull. So we stretch and we make space, and then we release it. Good. Then from here, keeping the hands as they are laced behind the head, without lifting now the shoulders or the elbows or the arms, I'm going to inhale and send my right elbow over to the right. This will also open up the neck, and back to the center with the exhale. And then I'm going the other way, sliding, right? I'm sliding my elbows one way and the other. Now, as we do that, we are helping also the chest and the sides of the lungs to open up. So feel that contraction on the side that you're going, and the extension in the opposite side. And we go again, inhaling, and exhale. Good. Again, inhaling. Repeat, exhale. And you can see that I'm going slow, right? On purpose, trying to slow down so the brain also relaxes. And like I said, the body is more open and ready to receive this work, okay? Good. Now from here, let's add a little more. Again, with the cat-cow idea, I'm going to inhale and arch, lifting the chin. And this time with the exhale, I'm going to try and bring my elbows towards one another and lift the upper back, okay? And again, inhaling. Belly button moves into the spine, elbows in, like if you want to hold a piece of paper in between, and lifting the upper back, and the neck stretches. And again, inhaling and exhale. Good, then I'm coming back. I'm going to release the arms. And from here, I'm going to inhale and send my arms up towards the ceiling. And very simple motion, but it will help also neck and shoulders. You'll see it's a simple movement, but very helpful. I'm going to inhale and very slowly, slower than what you think you want to go, even, I'm going to just take the arms away from one another without touching the floor, but I'm coming close, okay? And then very slowly, I'm coming back towards meeting the palms, right? Facing each other, and then switching over to the second side. Good. This very slow exercise, right? It's, again, very simple, but it's getting into the shoulder joints and connecting into the upper back and the neck. Okay, so again, going back up. Try to go slower than what you're going, even though I cannot see you, but try to go slow so we get a little deeper. And again, one more, going back towards the beginning position and switching. This was my first side, so I'm going to add one more. Don't rush. If you remember the way you started, just finish that cycle that you're doing now. And when you come back towards the center, what we're going to do now is to let the palms touch. And from here, I'm going to extend or lift one arm, like if I'm sliding one arm a little higher, and then down, and then switch the opposite one and down. You may feel this in your shoulder blades, also your neck, right? So go slow and notice the differences between one side and the other. This is also super helpful to create space in the back of the chest. And we are, of course, working with the neck. Here, you want to let the head be heavy, and it's just the movement of the shoulders and the arms, which is connected to the neck, okay? Up and down, a couple more. I'm going to add only one more each side, and then I'm switching into a different exercise. These little exercises, they are all tools that you can use whenever you have tension or you feel tension in the neck, okay? Now I'm going to cross my right arm in front or on top of the left one, and with my hands, I'm going to hold my shoulder blades, as you can see, okay? And now we are going to do the following movement. I'm going to send both my elbows one way as I send my chin the opposite way. Now, when I do that, the side where my head is going, I'm holding that shoulder blade and pulling it a little bit more to the opposite side, okay? And then I'm coming back to center on the exhale. And now we go the other way. Inhaling and pulling my left shoulder blade towards the right and back to center. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's go a couple more. Good. Once you're back to center from the last one that you just did, re-extend your arms, and we put the second arm in front. For me, it's the left one, so now my left is on top of the right. Again, I'm going to hold my shoulder blades the same as we did before, and we'll go for 5 again, okay? So I'm starting this time with my elbows going to the right, my chin to the left, back to center, and going over to the other side. Remember, just try to find a pace in your breath that feels fluid and natural, okay? So inhale, even if you do like a little dance, right? And exhale, coming from side to side. And one more. Then we are back to center, release the arms. Take a deep breath in and release here to sense the upper back and the body, okay? The neck and the head. Good. Then from here, I'm going to roll over to the side for a moment to take my belt. So if you have a belt at home, please take it. And we're going to make a loop that it's pretty big, okay? So I'm making, like I'm putting the belt there in the buckle so I can have a big, big loop, okay? Once you have that, I'm going to come back to where I was. So I'm coming down to lying down on my back. And what I'm going to do, wait, I want to show you. So one side of the belt, usually we try to avoid having the buckle on your skin. So you're going to keep that buckle on one side, okay? So you can even play with it and adjust it if you need. Then one end of the belt, I'm going to put it behind my head and right above my ears, okay? It's like when you have, for the girls, a headband, and it's right at the end of your, what we call occipital ridge, but it's at the end of the skull, okay? And I'm hooking it right on top of my ear so it doesn't fall. I have my microphones, they are also on my ear, so hopefully they won't go away. Okay, so that's the position that I need for my head. On the other end, I'm going to put my feet. And then you will, of course, have to modify or adjust the belt with your hand, right? So if you need to make it looser or tighter, you'll do that. Now, if you look at my a little boat that I did here, the idea you can see is that my head is not touching the floor, right? The head is off the floor, but it's not pulled too much that it will hurt in the neck. This is a super good stretch. My legs, I'm trying to keep them vertical, which means that you want your pelvis to be grounded, okay? You don't want this. I'm exaggerating, but you don't want to lift your sitting bones off your mat, okay? And once you have that, I'm just trying to adjust so you keep being able to hear. And once I have that, I'm going to push. You can put the belt close to your heels or in your arches. My legs, they have a little bit of distance, kind of like hip distance apart or maybe a little less. And then what I'm going to do here is to just relax my shoulders. And with the push that I'm doing with my feet into my belt and my head resting onto the belt as well, I'm creating a stretch in the neck muscles. I'm sure you can feel it. And the idea is to not feel any pain, right? There shouldn't be any pain. So maybe the sensation is like the stretching and the making of space, but we don't want any pain. So if you have like a pinched nerve or something like that, and this is too much, you may bend your knees and make it looser or just take it out all of it, okay? Good, so we stay here. Rest the face also, try to make it soft, relax your jaws, and we stay here for a few breaths. Good, one more. Good, and then you go hold your belt with your hands, bend the knees slowly, and put the feet down, take that belt out, relax the head, and take a deep breath in, and release. Good, then let's go from here slowly up into a seat. There are so many exercises that we can do. We'll go back to this, but you can, if you can, sit just cross-legged, any cross-legged position, or you can add pillows or blankets if you need. And from here, very gentle, we are going to inhale, send the chin up like we did when we were lying down. This time with the exhale, I'm going to slowly come down towards the chest and I'm going to stay there. And from that point, I'm going to move like a pendulum from side to side. I'm not going back, okay? So I'm going to inhale, bring one ear towards the same shoulder. And then exhale, go down. Then over to the other side. And down. Try to keep your shoulders soft and heavy and feel the difference between going one way and the other. Just a couple more. Good. When you return to the center, slowly lift up towards vertical, relax the shoulders over the hips, lace your fingers again, bring your hands behind the head. We inhale here, we open the elbows back and we open the chest. And with the exhale, similar to what we did when we were lying down, I'm going to bring my elbows down and gently press the head down. Stay there for one full breath. And then slowly return. Good, and release. Now we are going to inhale, arms up overhead. Then turn your palms out, exhale. Stay there with the arms parallel to the floor. And I'm going to turn the palms again and make my fingertips point down, like if I want to touch the floor with my fingertips. Right arm stays the same, left arm comes up and over, catching the right side of your head. Keep pushing and pressing with your right palm and bring gently your head over to the left. My face on the right side is gently pressing into the hand. So it's not only bringing the head over to the left, but also creating that, igniting the firing of the muscles on that right side. Good. To come back, instead of just returning with my left hand, I'm going to gently bring the head back and release. Good. Second side, let's inhale, arms up overhead, turn the palms, extend with the exhale. Good, and now again, I'm going to turn my palms to face out and the fingertips to point down. And I'm going to keep the left arm as it is, neck is tall but soft. I'm bringing the right arm over to the left side and bringing the head over to the right. My head, like I said, now is pressing gently into my right hand and I'm pushing my left wrist away from my shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Good, and then I'm taking that right hand to help me return and release. Beautiful. Roll the shoulders just a little bit here, a few times, maybe 2 or 3, and then 2 or 3 coming back. Good. From here, inhale, arms up overhead. With the exhale, bring your right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Use that power of the hand into the knee to help you lift and twist over to the left, relaxing the shoulders. This is a little bit of a torsion for the whole spine, so we open up and we uncrick places that are tight. And I'm going to add also a contraction for the neck, okay? So from here, lifting, relaxing the shoulders, I'm going to bring the chin over to the right. I'm doing what I'm saying, okay? So you may look like you're opposite than me, but we are doing the same. So chin over to the right, and I'm keeping the chin off the chest, right? Or off the shoulder. Now I'm trying to send the chest and the belly towards the left, but my chin is coming to the right. Breathe in and out. Good, and then we return to center. Then uncross the legs and put the opposite leg in front. And we go again to the other side, lifting the sides of the body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left hand to the right knee, left palm. Right hand is behind me. Inhale, lift the spine. Bring the belly and the chest over to the right. Relax the shoulders. Imagine or visualize, if you can, from the bottom of your pelvis, one straight line going through the center of your body all the way up to the crown of the head. So try to keep that alignment to make space, and then chin goes over to the left, relaxing the shoulders, softening the face. And here we have an opposition, right? So the belly and the chest, they are moving or dragging over to the right, but my neck and my head, they are going to the left. Breathing in and out. For one more. Good, and then returning back to center, wiggle a little bit again. Okay, before we finish, we have just a few minutes left. If you happen to have something like this, I'm going to show you a cool trick that you can do at home, also with a block. Okay, if you don't have it now, no worries. You could take your blanket and do a sushi roll, what I call, do a roll that is compact and put it in the place where I'm going to show that the therapy balls will go. So I have a block that it's flat, and I'm putting, it's a sack with 2 tennis balls inside. So I'm putting that, and then I'm going to come onto my back again, but not completely, because I'm going to make the therapy balls or this setup be right at the base of my skull, okay? So you'll feel like where there is like at the end of the skull, there's like those 2 bones, there's 2 bony landmarks, and that's where I'm going to put where I'm going to set myself, okay? So for this one, it's good to have the knees bent also, so you don't feel tension in the lower back. And once I put that, it can be, like I said, a rolled blanket, and you can just put the neck there and rest it, maybe on top of a block, so you also feel the elevation, if that works. And just by staying here with my head resting onto this setup and moving my shoulder blades down away from my neck, just that, it's like doing like acupressure and kind of like really creating that opening and that release of the areas that sometimes they are tight and they give us headaches, okay? So if you have this setup, and you can stay here for a few breaths, and I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that you can do. Now, here, before I say anything else, this is important that you sense if this feels that it's too intense for you, then you stay just for 1 breath or 2, and then you get out, okay? Because this can be really intense. So I'm just going to show a few tricks for if you can do this at home later, if you don't have it now. So in here, you can just rest, do nothing. You can also start playing with chin down and chin up. You may feel the setup moving a little bit, right? So I'm just adjusting so the setup doesn't go away from me, but you can do that one. Just showcasing a few, right? I'm going quick because of time, but then if you are okay, you can also bring your chin towards one side, and it's kind of like intense. I'm going to tell you, maybe you're feeling it already with me, okay? It's intense because we are going into trigger points. So you want to go very gentle, okay? Maybe going like I'm showing, chin side to side. And you can, of course, change the angles. You can perhaps go like 45 degrees one way, and then bring the chin down, and then back up, and stay there maybe if you need, then return to the center, maybe go 45 degrees over to the other side, and even without moving the chin anywhere, you stay there and you feel like there's a trigger point, you can stay there or move it by moving the chin a few times, okay? So I wanted to show you this because it's super helpful. It's what we call a passive stretch, but it can be very helpful for when, like I said, I'm just sitting up, but it can be very helpful for when you have, like I said, headaches or trigger points in that area that feels compacted when we are sitting a lot in the computer, okay? Good. So before we end, because I have just a couple of minutes left, we will return to some of these things and some new ones in our series, because I'm going to be doing more of the neck and shoulder stuff. So this can be a good thing, okay? Before we finish, because we have just like a minute, come back to a seat for a moment. And from here, we are going to inhale, send the arms up, stretching the sides, lace your fingers, press your palms up, and let the shoulder blades go up towards the skies together with your arms and your hands. Good, then release, almost the end. And now I'm going to let one forearm come down and stretch the opposite arm up and over. Inhale here. Exhale, come back. And we go over to the other side. One forearm down, extending the other side. So we stretch the whole body. And back up. Let's do this one last time, okay? Now this time when I'm going, I'm going to try and make that opposite hip super heavy, so I feel that stretch. And then I'm coming back, last one. Trying to make my opposite hip heavy. Good, push and come back. Beautiful. Let's inhale, arms up overhead. Touching the palms, we bring them together to the heart. Relax the shoulders, lift the sides of the body. And in gratitude for this practice that we have, thanks to Rakuten and for you guys to joining me today, let's bow in. Namaste.